Some cities do not die all at once. They vanish slowly. A market goes silent. A temple is left without prayers. A palace door is never opened again. Streets that once carried thousands of footsteps disappear under ash, jungle, desert sand, or time itself. And centuries later, someone finds a wall, a staircase, a carved stone, or a buried room. And suddenly, the lost city begins to speak again. Across the world, there are places where entire civilizations rose, flourished, and then faded into legend. Some were destroyed by nature. Some were abandoned because of war, drought, trade collapse, or political change. Others were never truly lost to local people, but were forgotten by the wider world until archaeologists, explorers, and historians brought them back into global memory. These are not just ruins. They are warnings. They are time capsules. And they are proof that even the greatest cities are more fragile than they seem. One of the most haunting lost cities in the world is Pompeii. In the year 79 CE, Pompeii was a busy Roman city near the Bay of Naples, close to Mount Vesuvius. People lived, traded, argued, cooked, worshipped, and walked through streets lined with shops and homes. Then the volcano erupted. Ash and pumice fell from the sky. Deadly gases and volcanic materials swept through the city. Pompeii was buried so quickly that ordinary life was frozen in place. Walls, paintings, bakeries, bathhouses, and even graffiti survived beneath the layers of ash. What makes Pompeii so powerful is not only how it was destroyed, but how human it still feels. You can look at its ruins and imagine someone opening a door, buying bread, or painting a wall without knowing that their world was about to end. Pompeii reminds us that disaster does not always arrive with enough warning. Sometimes history changes in a single afternoon. But not every lost city was buried by fire. In southern Jordan, hidden among sandstone cliffs and narrow gorges, stands Petra. The city was built by the Nabateans, an ancient Arab people who became masters of desert trade. Petra was not simply placed in the rock. Much of it was carved directly into rose-colored stone. Its most famous monument, Al-Kazne, often called the Treasury, looks like something from a dream. Tall columns, detailed carvings, and a glowing facade cut into the cliff face. But Petra's true genius was not just beauty. It was survival. The Nabateans built an advanced water management system with channels, cisterns, and dams that allowed a major settlement to thrive in an arid landscape. Caravans carrying incense, spices, and luxury goods passed through the region, making Petra wealthy and influential. Then trade routes shifted. Earthquakes damaged the city. Power moved elsewhere. Petra slowly faded from the center of the world. Today, when visitors walk through the narrow passage known as the Sick and see the treasury appear between the cliffs, they are not just seeing a monument. They are seeing the moment a lost civilization steps out of stone. High in the Andes Mountains of Peru, another lost city seems to float between earth and sky. Machu Picchu was built by the Inca in the 15th century on a mountain ridge above the Urubamba River Valley. Its stone terraces, temples, stairways, and walls blend so perfectly with the landscape that the city feels almost grown from the mountain itself. For a long time, Machu Picchu was unknown to most of the outside world, though local people knew the area. When it became internationally famous in the early 20th century, it captured the imagination of millions. What makes Machu Picchu extraordinary is its engineering. The Inca built without modern machinery, fitting stones together with remarkable precision. They shaped terraces that helped manage farming, drainage and erosion in a steep mountain environment. But its exact purpose is still debated. Was it a royal estate? A sacred center? A place connected to astronomy and power? The answer may be more complex than one label. That mystery is part of why Machu Picchu still feels alive. It does not give away all its secrets. It invites us to climb higher, look closer, and wonder what the mountains remember. From the Andes, we move to the forests of Cambodia, where the ancient city of Angkor once stood at the heart of the Khmer Empire. Angkor was not a small ruin. It was one of the great urban landscapes of the medieval world. The Angkor Archaeological Park covers about 400 square kilometers, including forests, temples, reservoirs, roads, and remains from different Khmer capitals. Its most famous temple, Angkor Wat, is one of the most recognizable religious monuments on Earth. But Angkor was more than a temple complex. It was a vast system of power, faith, water engineering, and royal ambition. The Khmer rulers built huge reservoirs and canals to manage water through wet and dry seasons. For centuries, this system helped support a large population. But over time, political pressure, environmental stress, and changes in water management may have contributed to Angkor's decline. The jungle did not erase Angkor completely. It wrapped around it. Tree roots climbed over stone. Towers rose through the forest canopy. And the city became one of the most powerful images of time reclaiming human ambition. Then there is Mohenjo-daro in present-day Pakistan, one of the great cities of the Indus Valley civilization. Built in the 3rd millennium BCE, Mohenjo-daro shows evidence of advanced urban planning. Its streets were laid out in organized patterns. It had brick buildings, drainage systems, wells, and public structures that suggest a highly organized society. And yet, we still cannot read the Indus script. The voices of Mohenjo-daro remain locked behind symbols that have not been fully deciphered. That silence makes the city even more fascinating. We can see its streets, its bricks, its planning, and its objects. But the names of its rulers, its stories, its songs, and many of its beliefs remain unknown. Mohenjo-daro is a reminder that a civilization can be incredibly advanced and still leave behind mysteries that last for thousands of years. Deep in the rainforest of Guatemala, another city rises through the trees. Tikal. Tikal was one of the major centers of the ancient Maya world. It was inhabited from around the 6th century BCE to the 10th century CE. Its ceremonial center included temples, palaces, plazas, and causeways. The pyramids of Tikal climb above the jungle canopy like stone mountains. From their summits, the ancient Maya could look across a world of forest, sky, and sacred architecture. Tikal was a place of politics, astronomy, ritual, conflict, and royal power. But like many classic Maya cities, it eventually declined. Scholars point to a mix of possible causes, including warfare, environmental stress, drought, and political instability. What is amazing is that the jungle both hid and protected it. For centuries, trees grew over the city, but the stones remained. Today, Tikal feels less like a dead place and more like a sleeping one. In southern Africa, Great Zimbabwe tells a different story. Located near modern Masvingo in Zimbabwe, this ancient stone city was an important center of power and trade. Its walls were built from granite blocks without mortar, forming massive enclosures and towers that still impress visitors today. Great Zimbabwe was connected to regional and long-distance trade networks, including gold and goods that linked parts of Africa to the wider Indian Ocean world. It became a symbol of African achievement, architecture, and political organization. For a long time, colonial myths tried to deny that local African people could have built such a monument. But archaeology has firmly shown its African origins. The city stands as evidence of a sophisticated society created by the ancestors of the Shona people. Its ruins are not just stones, they are a correction to history. They remind us how often the past has been misunderstood when viewed through prejudice. In the American Southwest, Mesa Verde offers another kind of lost cityscape. For over 700 years, ancestral Pueblo people built communities in what is now Colorado. Mesa Verde is famous for its cliff dwellings, including Cliff Palace, Balcony House, and Square Tower House. Hundreds of cliff dwellings and thousands of archaeological sites have been recorded within the park. These homes were built into alcoves beneath cliffs, using sandstone and mortar. They were not random shelters. They were communities with rooms, storage areas, gathering spaces, and deep cultural meaning. By the late 1200s, many people left the Mesa Verde region. Drought, resource pressure, social changes, and other factors likely played roles. But the people did not disappear. Their descendants are part of Pueblo communities today. That matters. Some places called lost cities were never truly lost to the people connected to them. They were only lost to outsiders. And this is what makes the idea of lost cities so powerful. A title like Lost Fortunes, Ghost Cities, and AMP, Ancient Worlds, works because it touches something deep in us. We are drawn to ruins because they are both beautiful and unsettling. They show us what humans can build, but they also show us what humans can lose. Every lost city asks the same quiet question: what remains after power fades? Pompeii answers with ash. Petra answers with stone. Machu Picchu answers with mountain mist. Angkor answers with roots and temples. Mohenjo-daro answers with unread symbols. Tikal answers with jungle silence. Great Zimbabwe answers with walls that refuse to be forgotten. Mesa Verde answers with memory carried by descendants. These cities are not just about the past. They are mirrors. They remind us that climate, water, trade, leadership, belief, and community can shape the fate of entire civilizations. They remind us that no city is permanent just because it feels powerful today. But they also remind us of something hopeful. Even when a city falls, not everything is lost. A wall can survive. A road can wait. A carving can speak across centuries. A buried room can bring back a human story. And maybe that is why we keep searching. Not just to find lost cities, but to find the people inside them. If this journey made you see ancient ruins differently, give the video a like, share your favorite lost city in the comments, and subscribe for more stories from the hidden corners of history here on VeyrScope.